I am RishiKanodia, a fourth-year mechanical engineering student, and I am contesting for the post of General Secretary Cultural Affairs at IIT Bombay. Cultures for me is a place to learn, create, experience, and excel. Since my fresh year, I've been participating in various cultural competitions, and I got the opportunity to participate in Inter-IIT Cultural Meet. Since then, I've been a part of various award-winning plays, and I got the opportunity to serve as the PAF Dramatics overall coordinator in my third year. In recognition of my contributions, I was nominated as the Institute Cultural Nominee in my fourth year. My experience would bring to the table not only inclusivity and community, but also excellence towards all the genres. If elected, I am committed to working with all the community members while bringing my motivation to justice, which is everything for cultures and cultures for everyone.
Now you can go ahead with your motivation. Start.
As a bright-eyed freshie who's participating in every event, I always used to wonder who's organizing everything. And being the Institute Cultural Nominee, I dive deeper into the working of councils, and I realized that I have to find a balance of passion of being a participant, the needs of a participant, and ensuring efficiency from the side of administration. Which is why I wish to use my experience to give back to the cultures by being the General Secretary of Cultural Affairs. I envision cultures to become more accessible by prioritizing learning and competition spaces by my initiatives such as freelancing and Corpus Connect. This is supplemented by my personal motivation to integrate social good with performing arts through Culturally Conscious. I also think that the heart of IIT is in its hostel. Thus, I am motivated to revive those sentiments attached to the general championships by ensuring transparency and accountability at the same time. With my experience and passion for promoting inclusivity and improving the cultural body, I am confident that I can make a positive impact on the Institute's cultural scenario. So the Talent Hub will be a portal that will enable students to freelance. We have built up a timeline which will enable the in-house web council of ICC to work on both the websites and the freelancing portal. We have limited the number of web projects for the next year so that all the projects are completed in time by the end of the autumn semester.
So, continuing, how many opportunities do you think the stakeholders have for freelancers that you have mentioned in the plan?
So we have identified three major use cases. First is the smaller councils that require design work for smaller time commitments. Second is are the professors who require design work for their conferences. Third is basically the student startups that come from IIT Bombay who require best of the talent for branding and advertisement. So in a total, we are targeting that this will serve 400 students inside the campus. The Melange will be conducted during the first weekend of the spring semester. That is a weekend where most of the cultural clubs are just starting on with their activity, and that is a month of flagship events. We aim to keep this event during the first weekend to serve it as a kickstarter to the spring semesters to the students who have just come into the campus.
Who will be responsible to execute the ambience, occupied bandwidth that you already have of various flagships
With adequate delegation and proper organization, the entire cultural council will work together to bring this event and project to fruition. Okay, so the artworks that we receive during our flagship events, for example, if I talk about Kala Darshan, they are given by faculty members, students, and staff members as well. So we'll be taking a consent from each and every one of them that their artworks will be used to monetize for donations. So that is how we aim to tackle this problem of intellectual property.
So, continuing on that, will the artworks made by students also be monetized? If yes, they are also funded in terms of reimbursement by institute. How do you deal with the IP protection?
Sorry, can you come again? The last part?
The IP acts will be applicable in that as well as institute refunds.
So the artwork that students submit, they make it on their own. and their consent will be taken before they submit that whether or not they want to donate it during the flagship event. If they consent not to, they are obviously open to take the artworks back with them. So the cultural heritage is basically an aggregation of all the post publicity that we want to do from our end. The content will be created from time to time because we also create captions for posts. Like those content will be made by the councils and it will be aggregated and designed by the publicity wing of ICC.
Wondering on that, how do you ensure reach of the printed magazine and that the length of the magazine is actually readership is viewed, given the decreasing culture of offline newspapers?
So I would like to correct you, Aryan. We will not be printing the magazine. It will only be an online newsletter. So do I answer further? So with the structure of cult not difficult, it's usually that the third years and above take classes. So basically they are the instructors. We'll be having approximately 5 to 6 mentors from each club who are second year and above to work closely with the students on ideation, projects, etc. that they aspire to do. I've talked to all the cultural clubs and they have agreed to follow the structure. So we've generally observed that alums do have a huge amount of sentiments towards the cultural activities that they did, like the part of cultural clubs that they were. So we'll reach out to the alums via events that are organized in the institute for them, like Alumination, by hosting a cultural night within Alumination. And we'll also use our in-house newsletter, The Cultural Heritage, to reach out to them on a subscription basis. We'll accomplish this via the Dean ACR newsletter and the 32 chapters of IIT Bombay alumni associations throughout the world.
But you know that how do you even ensure the proper use of this corpus fund in terms of which club gets how much amount of money and is it sent to people who actually need it as compared to others? So how do you ensure that metrics are in place?
Okay, so first of all, for the management of the fund, the disbursement of the fund will always be approved by the cultural chairperson. The secretary will work closely with the institute cultural nominee to decide which projects or which competitions will get approved for this fund. Currently, we have decided on 3 metrics. First, being the historical participation in that competition. Second, the proximity of the competition. And third is the prestige that the competition carries.
Follow-up on that would be more clubs that are newer, that do not have huge participating within flagships because of that.
Okay, so can you come again? The huge clubs.
The clubs that have lower participation in terms of flagships or do not have very flashes in terms of flagships, they will go ahead and suffer because they do not come under these metrics. Do you think that's fair for them to go ahead and do that?
Okay. Okay, so the clubs, as you mentioned, which are not flashy, the metric won't be to judge them whether or not they have huge flagships or not. It will solely be based upon the quality of the participation that they are offering to these competitions. So the project GC Look Back, which aims to increase the sentimental value towards general championship for the hostels, this project will be done in collaboration by the publicity wing of Institute Cultural Council and the BBC. So with the current design needs that are put forward in the Institute Cultural Council, we are also looking forward to restructure the publicity wing so that it gets enough time to work on publicity projects for the Institute Cultural Council as a whole.
Could you talk about the restructuring of publicity wing?
So within the publicity wing, with the number of conveners that we have, we'll allot 3 to 4 clubs to every conveners to work separately upon, and the rest of the time will be devoted to the pan-ICC publicity such as the cultural heritage or the GC Look Back. If elected for the position of General Secretary Cultural Affairs, I would work on timely communication, transparency, and smooth organization structure. I strongly believe that the cultural events are a great way to bring people together, foster diversity, and a sense of community. As I was inspired by my seniors who guided me, I'd like to give back to the body and inspire the generations to come. Thank you.